Yo, welcome back, NSDC. We're back again with the homie Elusive.
Yo.
Shout out to Sergio.
Hey, let's not forget, just big shout out to Elusive. He's, celebrating something today. Big shout out to the homie.
Thank you, man.
Yeah. Well, I didn't know he went all out there in the public like that. That's why I ain't saying no. But yeah, shout out to Elusive.
Let us know if you want to edit this out, but
Well, look, Sergio has a lot of breaking news today. You know what I mean? So it's okay.
a lot of another year around the sun, man. Congrats, brother.
Yeah, bro, for sure.
Big shout out to you and your family, man. So let's start the podcast on a positive note.
Yeah.
Even though what I think what we're gonna talk about is positive and whatever.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna talk about cards because Sergio's not really into those, so that's pretty safe.
That's what he said last week. But
he's been saying that for the last. He's been making it a mission, to let people know about cards.
Yeah. But this week Sergio's been on one today.
He's been a lot of things this week. I mean, I don't want to get into it.
We're definitely getting canceled when we talk about that.
No. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, let's move on.
Yeah. But yeah.
Man,
let's just move to the topic. Close the hand. We usually do pickers, but this time we're just gonna get straight to it. What are we talking about, Sergio? Intro it up, though.
So I saw. Well, let's start with what I saw today. I saw the video of Burbank Sports Cards.
Okay.
And he was talking about whether influencers are good or bad for the hobby. And man, I think I sent you guys the video. I think he made some really strong points. Obviously, he's probably more directed towards the sports side, right?
Yeah.
But there's just a very hard striking resemblance in what happens in the Marvel card hobby too.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen some people come, some people go. And we've seen we've seen some people. We've seen some people. Probably bite off a little more than they can chew in the hobby, and we've seen it. We don't have to call names out. Hey, it is what it is, man. It happens. You know what I mean? It happens to us all.
Yeah.
But I think that some of those moments where people bite off more than they can chew. Listen, somebody fed you the pill, right? And then you became the addict to it,
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like sometimes. In the influencer space, man, I don't know. And this is just me, I don't like to try to have bad karma on my conscience or anything like that. So and we've always tried to give the best advice of source other ways, try to find other ways. And, for sometimes it makes us upset that people don't listen to us, but you know what, man, even better. Don't let me influence you, I don't want to influence people on how they collect. I just want to show you shit that I pick up, Yeah. If that influences you, let it influence you, but it's not coming directly from me saying, hey, you should go buy this.
Yeah. You're just sharing what you're excited about.
That's it, man. I'm just sharing my journey. And obviously at first, right, initially when I jumped into the Marvel card hobby space, there are and were people that were trying to be the name and the face of the, quote unquote Marvel card hobby. And, I understand that we're human too. I'm not going to say that we need to be perfect, but if you are going to be the voice of the hobby, at least be a good one. At least try.
What do you mean by good? Let's break it down.
What do you mean by the voice?
What do I mean by? Listen. Can we publicly say this and be fair that there's a few hand select people that you would say are the influencers in the Marvel card hobby space?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
people with the biggest followings, for sure.
The biggest followings, right? The biggest, the biggest clout. Those are the people that mainly influence the hobby in certain ways, right? They give us information, they tell us about card releases, what's coming next, right? Stuff like that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And one thing that irked me this past week, I saw the video of Steve Aoki ripping a box. What was it? Oh, it was a digital box of Spider-Man metal.
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay.
And there's a comment in there of someone that has reached out to me before. I think his name is something Flit or Jay or something like that. he asked about like, oh, so how does kind of this process works? Because, you know, he might collect some stuff, but he's not, I guess, in the full know of like what EPAC is and like, you know, what all that stuff is. And, you know, I feel like the answer that the influencer gave him, like, it was kind of like, you know, I'm just going to keep it like, I'm just going to shoot it out there. It's kind of like a half-ass answer, you know? It wasn't like an honest like answer, or it could have been a little bit more detail and explanation of what and how this EPAC thing works, you know? Because when the gentleman asked about the whole digital card thing, right? When it's like, oh, if it's an NFT, I mean, guys, let's be honest. Let's be honest between amongst us and the people that do listen to the podcast. If you buy EPAC, right, you're missing out on the physical aspect of the card, regardless of whether it's a base card, regardless of whether it's a fucking paperweight, regardless of whether it costs $25, regardless, right? You're getting a physical product when you buy a physical box. And when you don't buy that physical box and you buy it on EPAC, you're pretty much, and I mean, guys, I can open up my EPAC and show you all of my NFTs that are stuck there, you know, because I couldn't finish a trade. I couldn't gather 10 to make a digital, right? It's a lot of work and a lot of process to make that digital card, that digital become physical.
Yeah, you got to combine.
And then you guys know, like I do, like if you for whatever reason, like, hey, like, you know what? I'm going to collect this high series Wolverine, bro. People do not want to trade you. They don't want to give those cards. They're holding on to it like it's like for fucking dear life. But there's no true value in it until you actually make it physical. And you guys know, like I do, you know, a little bit down the road when that card hits eBay, and you look at the price, you really got to ask yourself: is it really worth the time? Like the trade? Is it really worth all of that just to buy a fucking $10 physical card that was a digital to a physical? Is it really worth it?
Yeah.
You know? And for people that don't understand how that works, man, like it's really, I think honestly, man, it's really sad that like someone that is you know, that wants to be like, you know, a voice of good for the hobby doesn't break that down and explain that to someone, because this is how people end up getting taken advantage of, right? Not by that person, but by their information, you know? The lack of thereof, misinformation, and say, hey man, you know, give a little breakdown of like, you know, it's not, you know, some characters, if you're looking for like a Spider-Man or Wolverine, dude, it's almost impossible to get these trades, bro. Unless you got something that's like, you know, obviously worth trading. But most people don't want to let those cards go because they want to try to get that physical same thing. You know, they want to get the digital to physical too. And how impossible is it to do that sometimes, you know?
Yeah, I mean, look, EPAC definitely has a learning curve. To be fair, though, like it's in an IG post, it's very difficult to explain all the details and like variations of what EPAC is. Like it's just hard. You gotta go through it to understand. Like, oh, you gotta combine 10 digital cards. If it's like you said, big character, most people are hoarding them. They don't want to let them go. People are doing a bunch of trades. It's all like a game running out of time because everyone's trying to get to achievements first. And then like whatever value some cards have in the beginning, they no longer have it because of the achievements. So it's just difficult to explain that to someone who knows nothing about EPAC.
But if you chose to be the voice of it and to explain these things to people, right?
Yeah.
You should make that time. If somebody asks you, whether it's a DM, whether it's like, hey, shoot me a DM and I'll explain it to whatever, you know what I mean? And I'll be honest with you, I don't really care if you open it up. The comment says it's just like opening a physical box, dude. It's not.
No, it's not.
Don't say that, because it's not just like opening a physical box. Right. Again, regardless of value, regardless of what that base card costs, it's nothing like opening a physical box. So that's what kind of irked me this week. You know, along with some other things that, you know, we looked at, and you know, the other thing kind of just gave me like a laugh.
Mm-hmm.
And it's always and we've heard it from our favorite influencers. Oh, mm-hmm. this $5,000 card, this $6,000 card, you know, like this. We've heard these things before, right? And it's like, man, like you're setting a price, and like there's not even a market for it, you know. But again, you're trying to use your influence to set a bar, which is relatively, like, you know, sometimes it's pretty out there, you know.
Yeah, in regards to the EPAC stuff,
that's fair to say.
I've been I was talking to Marvel Cards Up Brian, shout out to him, a couple weeks ago, and he was just telling me how, you know, the pack war stuff is going. And in general, man, that's, speaking of the learning curve, that takes a long time for people to fully understand what goes into to get every single achievement. on whatever you're going after. Like when I was doing the whatnot thing, it was hard to sell achievement cards because they weren't getting the value they deserved. And I'm not talking about hundreds of dollars. I'm just talking about cards that should be going for like 50 or 80 bucks. We're going for like 20, 30 because people didn't understand how tough it was to put that together on EPAC. So I think on EPAC in general, you would need someone like Doom, that he's been doing his series, like going over sets and all that. He should go over the whole EPAC system and break that down for people, if you wanted to. But that's what you really need, or someone else to do it. If
a dedicated, and I think people have done it in the past. I don't know to what level, because I never really looked at those videos, because I just learned it myself. But yeah, I mean, there's a need for that information, instruction, walkthrough.
And we talked about this before, whether it's amongst us or like on private chats or through here. It's simple for us because listen, I came in when I came in the hobby. I was picking up base cards too, man. Thanks to these two guys, like I mentioned before, they kind of showed me the ropes, and they kind of you kind of start figuring out a little bit, and it makes it easier to collect, right? It makes it easier to collect. But for someone that's like fresh in, dude, it's not that easy to get into Marvel cards, especially some of these older sets, Like we think it's easy, but it's actually really not that easy to like just get it from like the jump,
No, I don't think it's easy. I think it's difficult.
Yeah,
I think every hobby is difficult. But you have to do your research for real. Like, exactly. It's not just something we said; it's something we did.
Yeah, and then also I think it's a big part of it is just because it's so new. Because say someone new wants to jump into Golden Age comics, I mean that's not a cheap market. But at least there's so much data out there that if they do a little bit of research, right away they'll learn what people go for. What comics are doing in what grades, which ones are keys. There's so much information out there in general.
Yeah, right? There's no excuse nowadays. There's too many YouTube channels covering all the hobbies,
and except for again Marvel card. Well, a few. There's for sure.
There's a history of videos, bro. Like that's what I'm saying. Like right now, yes, there's still like levels to it, right? That you only know about certain websites because certain people tell you about it or whatever. But for the most part, like there's enough videos out there to figure it out. Enough research, but it also like requires a level of interest. If you're really interested in learning, you'll do it. You'll go through the it's not the easiest way. It's not the most organized system, but you'll figure it out if you do enough Googling, eBay research, YouTubing. You figure it out. Yeah. And like as far as like people need instructions, all that, just go follow people who are passionate about it. I mean, I guess for Marvel guys, if you're into Marvel cards, you're into Topps Chrome, you don't have to worry about EPAC. They're not gonna have any Marvel cards anytime soon. So.
Speaking of Topps Chrome,
Speaking
of Topps Chrome, I think I sent you a couple of photos of a Topps Chrome purchase, right? A Wolverine parallel out of 50.
All right, let's see. We're talking about the Aoki purchase.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
All right, let's go. This is the Aoki episode. Shout out to Aoki.
I'm not gonna say it.
We're talking about this card. We referenced a while back. Yeah.
Okay. So as you guys can see, right? Sold. Big card. Out of 50 Wolverine, Topps Chrome, new product. I think it says 15,000. No.
$14,900. One of the biggest sales. It was early on when Topps Chrome came out. I believe so.
Yeah.
And then you want to get the.
I wanted to tap into this, right? Because I want people to understand. So,
before we get into that, though, just to clear our own, make things clear here, I could not find this on Terapeak. Maybe I didn't search well enough. So I don't know if this sale is a real sale.
What are you trying to say? Aoki don't pay for his bits?
I have no idea. I couldn't find it, and maybe it's the system. Maybe I didn't search right enough. Maybe I don't know. I checked the U.S. and the UK one, and I just couldn't find it. So we'll start there. But from what we know, this was purchased, right? It was all over social media when it happened in September.
And I also like just go all the way to the bottom. Look at that. So there's 37 bids, right? 8 bidders,
Right.
1 retraction.
Bids.
I don't know if that 1 retraction is maybe the final price. I don't know, right? We don't know that. But I want people to understand what that number on the side is, where it's like 1, 26.45. Okay, and let's break that down to some people that don't understand what that is, because somebody asked me a question online the other day, and I was like almost surprised of how much people don't know how eBay and stuff like that kind of works.
Okay.
So, the 26.45 number at this point, and honestly, it's unfortunate for Aoki, but I feel like he's kind of getting hosed a little bit. You know what I mean?
So this is his card house, the winning bidder, right?
And how we know that, right, is because when you have an eBay account and you start buying and selling, your number starts to go up, incrementally, right?
Yep.
So the number always changes, but in general, I think people kind of figured out that Aoki's feedback is 26, whatever it is.
Yeah, you can look up the user and see their feedback.
But
it's a Wolverine card. He's a public Wolverine collector. People went to him to figure out it was his account.
Yeah. So at this point, like I feel like he's kind of being targeted, because. I think it's pretty easy to figure out who. Like, listen, if you put up a big Wolvie or a big Spider-Man and you see number 26 something, I would go to the first thing I would do is probably go to Aoki's page on eBay, see what his number is, and it's gonna match. It's basically gonna tell you who it is,
Right.
Based on the fact that we know that he goes for these big cards. But if you go through the line though, right? Like if you go up a little bit, right? 199, right? You got another 1. You got a 0, 1, right? What's I'll show them the final bid of, I would say, a real person. Is it the 2,700?
I mean, 26.45. Yes, okay, right. Well, you have a guy that's a 1, and they keep pushing it up by chunks.
Yeah. Like I would say the 199 for 2,700 is probably, I would say, quote unquote, the last real person that bid
before him, and then 0 and the 1, yeah.
And if you go from the 2,700 all the way up,
14.9.
What's the feedback number, bro? 1, 1, 1, 0, 1, 0. Bro, it's very clear that this guy's getting shilled. It
looks that way, at least. For sure.
For sake of conversation, let's say that it looks that way.
Now, there was interesting you brought up, because I'm like, all right, we've seen this before. Why is it relevant? And then we looked at some listings that ended recently. Here's the same style card, gold refractor, 30 out of 50, sold for $1,008 in less than a month. Difference.
Yes. It's by the same account, by the way.
You have these gold waves. These are sold for 1974, 2286. They're out of 50, but they're a little different. But this is the exact same type.
How many parallels?
So I think they have multiple golds, which is a gold wave and a gold. And then I guess the release of Sapphire, which we didn't talk about it much, but Topps Chrome Sapphire released, and it has like a cracked ice. Basically a reprint with like a different parallel. So now there's like this sapphire gold refractor.
Yeah.
But that's a different product all to itself. But yeah, it is crazy to see that card down to $1,000 now.
But I think what probably bothers me is that little things like this happen, and then you have a big voice, saying like, "Oh, look at this $10,000 card, bro. It's only $10,000 because you paid for it, bro. It's not a $10,000 card, And obviously, people that aren't so much in the know,
people gotta do their research. They gotta do their research. You can't take anyone's word for anything. You gotta
more of the story.
Yeah, like if you're in any hobby, like look, at that time it was a $15,000 comp, $14,000 because that's the only comp. But then it doesn't mean the next one's gonna be the same. Now it's $1,000. So,
and that's where patience becomes a virtue. You know what I mean, guys? It's an out of 50 card.
Yeah,
Like this thing's gonna pop up relatively
for the most part.
often-ish. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And there's multiple goals. If you miss on the regular goals, get the gold wave. Look, if I'm guessing, right, and I don't know, people who are buying this are not buying to collect these gold at these prices. I don't think they are. They're specking.
Yeah.
So if you want to spec and you get burned, that's on you. Like,
But yeah, I mean, I don't want to get it personally. I was gonna say, how do you expect for 1,000? Do you really
15x is a 15x is a
return on
fucking big jump, bro.
well,
15x
then
is a big
don't
jump.
be all right. So
what
don't
I'm-
be going off first comps. Like that's
Yeah,
the
and what
one
I'm
of the
talking-
story.
Yeah, and I'm not even talking about the 15K comps. If I'm talking about even right now, I don't think that card's worth $1,000.
No.
Oh
no.
no, I think it's
And-
still
and-
hype.
But
There's
wait,
still a lot of
but
hype behind it.
Elusive being like the sales guy, what would you value that card at? Take away the price and the comps.
Okay.
What
put
would
in
you
pers-
say? Like
put
out
in-
of 50 Wolverine.
Yeah, I'll tell you exactly. So to put in perspective for you, I recently did a trade / sale for a Ruby Wolverine, which is also out of 50 from Rain House, with way less parallels than this has, with artwork from Ramita Jr. And I did that at a 600 trade value. So this is a newer product. I mean, I personally don't think it's worth more than $300. That's me though.
Yeah.
You want to? I mean, 300.
300 for an out of 50. You can find so many out of 50s right now for 300 for less than 300 for whatever reason.
Yeah, 6 bidders on this one. No 1 accounts, no 0 accounts. So pretty normal here.
Yeah. The four. You know, it may throw you a little bit out the loop, but like, man, you know, the guess what? The 4 won the bid.
Yeah, they won the card for sure.
But it just surprised me, man. Like,
but yeah,
that's a whole nother conversation.
Well, it's important, right? It's the same thing because
no, totally.
Show bidding is show bidding, whether it's 15,000 or 1,000. You're still show bidding.
And it's just crazy, man. Like how many people I don't think actually understand how this shit works, bro.
You know what's also weird to me on that, and I'm just going off what you said because I haven't been consuming any of this kind of content. As you said that the person that, you know, they'll show this card and they'll say it's a $15,000 card, right? These influencers.
Yeah.
Are these the same influencers that are then turning around telling you to buy OA? Because why would you say it's, you know, it's a $15,000, it's worth $15,000 when OA is probably like you could get away for less than that. So which is it?
I'm gonna answer your question with this. The same person that's buying a $15,000 card is paying like $20K for the OA. So instead of you actually just buying the 1 of 1 with the original art, you paid $15K for out of 50. Yeah, out of 5. You know what I mean? Like, well, I mean, you said, you know, well, the other person that's telling you that it's a $15,000 card may or may not be buying the OA. You know, it depends. I don't know.
No, but they also are telling you to buy the OA.
They're also correct. They're also telling you to buy OA. Yes.
Yeah. Correct. So it's almost like, for example, I mean, the only thing I can explain to you is if you're coming to me for financial advice and I'm telling you, and you're like, yeah, I have $500,000 to spend. I could either tell you, hey, go. I'm over here on one side. I'm telling you go buy real estate for $500K, and on the other hand, I'm telling you to go overpay for a Ferrari for $500K. Which one's a better investment? Because one of them clearly is.
I mean, to be fair, I don't think. Here's what I'll say about that. People buying OA, people buying expensive cards. I think if you're doing it as an investment, that's where it's very dicey. I don't think either one is a quote unquote investment.
Guarantee. Yeah.
Right.
Or guarantee.
Like the economy as it is, and like there's way better things you want to put money down as investments. I don't. Yeah, none of those fit into that category for me. Now, whether they're the same people pushing this, I don't know. I haven't been watching all that, but
that's my point, though. That my only point is that, like you said, like neither one is a good buy for that amount of money. Personally, you know, unless if it's someone
it's all relative, though. Because is buying a I don't know, is buying any collectible a smart thing? I don't know.
Yeah. And you know, I'm gonna bring up an old point. You know, back in the pump days, you know, back when people were getting you know, getting pumped over here at in the Marvel card space. You know, some of these people are talking to some of these guys. You know, some of these people are in this guy's ear saying like, "Yeah, bro, that's a win." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Again, and yeah, it's just, to me, it's just like mind boggling that, you know, again, and this goes in more than just like, you know, Marvel cards. This happens fucking everywhere. It's crazy how some people really like, dude, you have the money, but you don't know what the fuck is going on, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You have zero idea of what's actually like going on, like behind the scenes,
or they don't care
like,
to know, bro.
or they
Yeah,
just don't care.
thing.
And I get that too. You got other stuff going on.
No,
But
that
dude,
I will say that if they like, all right, Aoki, for example, he buys that thing at 14,900. He probably doesn't care, or one of his people buys it. It doesn't affect him. He just wants to cut. The only negative thing about that is like a person like Johnny or any Wolverine collector out there who's actually also trying to get that card now has to wait until the hype goes down, and maybe they're priced out now, right? That's I guess the only negative effect. But I mean, that's the hobby.
Yeah, unfortunately.
You don't get everything in the hobby, and
like,
it could all collapse tomorrow. Like look at PMGs, right? We're looking at PMGs from Metal Avengers that came out not too long ago. Some are going for $30 and under.
Really quick, and I want, you know, to that point right there, right? I don't know if you have the slide I sent you, Doom, about the quad sig Topps Chrome.
Oh no, I didn't pull it up. But you're talking about the
like the Spider-Man, Thor,
facsimile, autos from Topps Chrome. Yeah,
guys, I've seen some of these sales. We're talking about 2,000, 4,000.
Yeah,
and I'm just like scratching my head. I'm like, bro,
why?
Like, yo, if you got Thor's number, dog, let me know. You know what I mean? Like,
people, look, we don't know why they're going for that much. This is a set that's heavily just hyped. There could be 1,000 reasons. People they're pumping it.
Set,
they're protecting their pump, or they're genuinely into it. There are other Topps Chrome collectors who are just trying to build a set. No idea what they're doing.
Yeah.
And then to that point, I also sent you a couple photos of 2018 masterpiece autos, recent comps, 2016 recent comps.
Yeah, under $300.
Some of these things are going less than $300.
But here's the thing with all these, we can find examples in all the sets where there's an imbalance, right? There's a lack of balance in some of these sales, and you can have your preference. This one should go for this, that should go for that. At the end of the day, some of them are going for more, some are going for less. It's all about what you prefer.
But to that point, though, and I agree, man. Listen, I don't want to be the cheesy one to say, yo, collect what you love, but I truly do feel that way, because I do. I collect what I like. You know what I mean? Whether you like it or not.
Mm-hmm.
But to that same point, though, about the whole influencer talk, where's the talk about yo, guys, hey, yo, don't miss out on these fucking 2018 autos. Don't miss out on these 2060. They're not talking about that stuff.
That's true. I mean, I think that's something that you rarely see people talk about. Publicly.
I brought that up personally. Remember when we talked about the EPAC achievement, and I was talking about the VIP Black Wolverine that doesn't even have the artist auto, and I was telling people, hey, there's a 2015 retro with the artist auto, Stuart Moten, and a PSA 9 for $400, and someone paid $800 for that VIP Black. Yeah. So, but to your point at the beginning, even if you tell people, man, that's why I'm just a little bit more quiet on this one. I'm letting Sergio vent, but there's nothing you could say that's gonna make people buy or not buy or stop buying or even do their homework. To be honest,
because either they don't care about those older sets, all they know is platinum. They want the platinum because they have a whole set. They want the VIP to match all the other VIPs. There's 1,000 reasons why they would prefer to spend more on that.
But again, if you're gonna use your influence to teach about the hobby, bro, teach all of it. Don't just fucking pump the platinum. Also be like, yo, guys, hey, for you guys, dude, check out the older sets too. Look at this. But they're not going to take their time out of the day to do that. I'm not saying that it's their responsibility to do it,
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, like, hey, you know, you want to call yourself like a voice in the hobby, dude? Throw these guys a bone.
Well, let's talk truth then. And no one gives a fuck about that. That's
Oh,
the
Yeah.
truth.
I mean, that's
That's
like
just
you
the
wanting
truth.
the Kardashians to talk about use their influence for some positive shit. Come on, what are we doing?
well, you know,
Uh,
shout out.
And
To the
out,
Kardashians,
look,
man.
and I won't just put it on the quote unquote influencers. Like no one's looking out for people in this hobby. Like, sure, look, actually, I'll take that back. Some people do, right? Very, very rarely do you see it though. And maybe other people have better circles and they see it more often than not. My experience, I can only speak about my experience. Not a lot of people looking out for you.
Nobody
No
looked out for
one,
me
no
other
one.
than you guys and a very, very few select people. And that's why to this day I ride with you guys, you know what I mean? And I fuck with you guys in that sense because, you know, even though
Yeah,
I'm not buying cards, you know, like we still as a collector, you know, like little you know, collective like hive mind,
yeah.
you know, I like the way that each one of us collect like differently, you know? Even when we were collecting the same stuff. And again, you know, it doesn't mean you gotta drop a link, guys, if you guys are listening, but I would still get that link. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, that's all you can do. I feel like we've said that a couple of times throughout the years. Like, you gotta go around your own circles and look out for each other. But no one's gonna take the time to do it
You know what it
because
is?
it's too much to do too. Like, you got it's a 24/7 job. Then I gotta go tell you about all these scams. I gotta go tell you, hey, you should be looking over here. These people are humans. They don't want to. There's only so much time they can devote to the hobby. And no one really gives a fuck about people enough to do all that work for free.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They just don't do it. If not, we would have dedicated channels for this. You know,
I thought we had that though. You know what I'm saying? If there were some dedicated channels out there.
people just doing it for the passion, bro. Like, well,
Oh,
all
it's
right,
passion now. It's passion. That's crazy.
it is like what else could it be? You think any of these channels making money?
Yeah, definitely.
Not off the channel.
Well,
Off the
yeah,
influence, not the channel.
that's all assumptions until that person does or does not. Like it's all it is. It's all pointing the finger.
Yeah,
People can point the finger at us, like, oh, what do you guys do with your influence?
I'm not influenced. Listen,
That's
I hope
true.
I'm not influencing any of you guys out there. You know what I'm
But you,
saying?
you care enough to bring the topic and like point some of this out
Oh
because
well,
you do want to influence that side. You do
no.
want
Listen,
to.
I bring it up because I will say this: like the one thing that I do like hold on to and say like yo like this is something that I do appreciate is
Mm-hmm.
are the good people out there. You know what I mean? There are some really good people out there in the hobby. And yo like like you might not be like maybe like a homie, but like dude, there are some good people out there that
Yes.
of course like if they came and asked me about some stuff, then I'm gonna try to give them like the best advice I can. You know what I mean?
Well, I would say that's the best way to go about it in the whatever non-sports card hobby. I'm not even gonna put just Marvel. Like
Yeah.
soon, I mean, my guess is soon is gonna be very DC heavy. Also, just because a lot of this top stuff is already
No,
crazy, and
no, let's not talk about that.
see, they you can't do one and then do the. As I say, like,
Oh, man.
look, everyone knows the advice. Just reach out to people and then see if you can trust them, and then hopefully you can, and you don't get burned along the way. And
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, it's not that some people are gonna try to fuck you over, some aren't. It is what it is. Like, it's
Yeah, I think we talked about this before, like I said, but in regards to like I think what it is, I hear Sergio on some stuff, because I still go through it to this day where okay, I made the circle as small as I can,
yeah,
but I think what it is it's your own expectation, right? Like for me, I always expect people like to reciprocate, and you start finding out that doesn't really happen as often as you
yeah,
think it should.
yeah.
And even though it's normal, and we all know it's normal, like we all know it's the minority that do and the majority that don't, it's still shocking somehow.
Still,
I don't know how to explain it to you. It still hits me, maybe because it could be the perception that you had of the person, right? So
mhm.
that could be what it is too. It's not so much that you care about the fact that they're not reciprocating, it's more that you held this person to a higher level or higher standard, you thought, and then come to find out they're just like everybody else, just looking out for themselves.
Right.
That's what it is. And I mean, all in
I
general,
think
right?
that's I
We're
think
all looking out for ourselves, but meaning like what Sergio was saying, there's still people that will send you links. There's still people that will do fair trades with you. There's still people that will gift you shit. You know,
yeah.
that's not normal either. That's what I'm referring to. Like, there's not a
No,
lot of
that's
those.
not.
You know,
Yeah, and don't take that for granted.
exactly,
'Cause
because they're far and few between to find.
it's
Like
far
we're
and few
saying.
between, exactly.
Mhm.
And I do think that's a big one. You put expectations on people, and
Yeah.
that probably creates the most, I guess, letdown. Yeah. Whether you put it too high just because you just have high expectations, or you just want to put your own expectations on people, maybe you're a very giving person, right? Like you do, yeah. You're gonna run into that. That's human nature, bro. Like, it is what it is. Should these people with this power focus on other things? Like, I can't tell anyone what to do with their audience, right?
No, of course not.
Like, let's keep it 1,000%. Like, Justin has the biggest following. Fausto has a huge following. Who else has a big following? As far as YouTube was,
I would say Josh and Michael Salzer, Cold Card Life.
yeah. What they created those channels, what they choose to do with that influence is on them. That ain't on me. And I don't want to police it either. Like, again, I could agree with something like, oh, I would do these things differently. I would do this differently. But you built it. You get to run it how you run it. You get to do what you want to do with it.
Again,
I think we've been very clear with our purpose and what we're trying to build, and why we still keep recording this, week to week for the most part, because we're just trying to hang out, have fun, and give some game out. But not everyone views life that way.
Yeah, and I think that's going back to that. I think it's more than anything personality types, because look, I just mentioned earlier the Kardashians just because on some fake shit, right? Like, most people attribute Kardashians to being fake, like in both literally and physically, right?
Yeah.
But they still have a huge audience. So that's another thing that's a misconception. Like, the audience, whoever's listening to anything or is consuming any kind of content, it doesn't. They might not be able to discern right away who's who, and maybe their hidden agendas, if there's any. But over time, all that comes to light. The issue with that, even though that's the case, is, again, there could be fake people in the hobby, but people still gravitate towards them, maybe because they share similar personality traits, or maybe because they don't care and they just take it for entertainment, right? Like, there's people that, again, watch the Kardashians, they know they're fake and this and that, but they still are entertained by their show.
Well,
So,
that's partially some of this fucking the brain rot that's going on in this this generation.
yeah, well, that's exactly what it is. There's the people that are doing homework or doing research or anything, they're becoming like less and less. And not only that, the people that are really doing homework across any hobby or across any kind of interest are almost, to be honest with you, the same kind of people that are called conspiracy theorists. Because whenever you try to educate yourself and try to figure these things out for yourself, whatever the case may be, you're usually the only people speaking truth to power. And because it doesn't go with the flow, it doesn't mesh well with the majority.
Yeah,
I think there's different levels of that for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I would say this in my experience: people who are looking at the Marvel card space, or even the DC one, or all this non-sports shit in a grand plan, or a 10-year, 20-year plan to invest, they're not talking to people. They're doing it. They keep it to themselves. They're doing it on the low.
No.
They're not giving you information.
They're definitely not.
They're playing the game. They're getting their inventory lined up. They're making their plays.
I will call that they're keeping you busy. They're keeping you busy over
Not
there.
really, bro. They're focused on their own end goal. They're not worried about what everyone else is doing.
Yeah.
They're not. They're just not. And like, even like me now, like, again, I talked about this last week, and And we got some comments too, and like, we got a lot of good feedback.
Yeah.
Like, I know someone mentioned like they would like to see what cards is we are interested in, what training like inserts and stuff.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
I talk about it. I talk about the Metal Avengers. I talked about the PMGs. Like whenever something comes up, DC stuff, I'm gonna talk about it. But I'm also not like, I'm focused on my own thing, my own interest. I'm not really looking at the Marvel card hobby like that right now. I can't provide that perspective for you. You have to go find someone who's passionate about it right now.
Yeah.
Because then authentically, I wouldn't be telling you what I'm really into at the moment. What I'm into at the moment is like looking at sketches, looking at artists, reading comics, Absolute Batman, Batman Beyond, Turtles, watching this Penguin show. I've been trying to tell everybody to watch if you're interested in it. Like, those are the only things. I'm looking forward to Naruto TMNT, a book coming up.
That cover I showed you was fucking dope with the side eye.
Yeah,
The Mikey,
they got
that's
a
limited to
lot
like
of dope
500
variants. Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of dope variants. Yeah, man. Like as far as the Marvel card hobby, I haven't really paid attention to much. Like,
Yeah, unless to me, like I don't know how, though. I have to go look back and look at that question he asked. But if you're talking about modern sets, yeah, I feel the same way that Doom just mentioned. But I could tell you what I liked from anything that I reached prior, because my views haven't changed. So I still what I liked before, right? Like if you like vanilla, you don't stop liking it because you found chocolate chip.
yeah, Seinfeld Gold Borders.
Yeah, we already know. I mean, yeah. You're saying yeah, for sure. Speaking of that, I just missed out on the little Doctor Strange, that one for super cheap. But yeah, and again, that's out of 75. That one for $75, not 15,000.
Wow.
So again, there's
only 75 copies
with no parallels, by the way. But anyway,
but it doesn't matter because people want what they want. That's what I'm saying.
You keep paying those 15. Hey, you keep doing your thing.
And if you're doing your homework, whoever got it right now is one of those people like playing the long game. Like, I'm just scooping up. I'm not talking about this. Let me just keep adding.
Yeah, 100%. They're still gonna
selfish game, but the selfish game helps if you're trying to sell.
Yeah, it does for sure. I mean, you could do it both ways. I mean, you could help your crew and try to still selfish public.
But when you start helping, you start getting let down. When you start getting let down, you start not caring about the hobby. Like it's a whole thing that happens.
Yeah, it's a cycle. It's a vicious cycle. Sure. Especially for me, man, that I have a hard time. You guys both know this. Like, if I wanted to be legit, like people call me elusive because of things that I do, or maybe I surprise you with things I come up with and stuff as far as like what I show. But at the same time, if you think about it, I'm not really that elusive. I literally show you everything I pick up. Like whoever just paying attention, I don't try to hide anything. I might hide something that I'm currently still going after, but you better trust that the moment that comes through my mailbox, it's getting photographed.
Second.
And these guys both tell me like, oh, just wait like a week to post it or a month or whatever. Back in the day, I'm like, nah, that's getting posted today, son. I'm trying to figure out just what song I'm gonna put with it.
But I do remember that there was something recent that you're like, damn, like I posted it and like I told you, you know what I mean? I told you to fucking sit down for a second,
Because I mean, people can think what they want, but I've always told them like I personally don't see myself as an influencer, so I never thought that I would cause that chain reaction that I post something, someone likes it, and then all of a sudden they scoop up the other ones that I was watching.
I definitely don't. I don't think I fall into that category, man. I feel like I'm a little bit more of like a black sheep because I kind of call things for what they are, right? Mm-hmm. I call a spade, and sometimes it gets a little bit frowned upon because obviously I'm fucking up someone's bag, but it's like, bro, I'm sorry, man. Like it's just my opinion, and you don't have to agree with my opinion. It's just how I feel about it, Yeah. But yeah, man, it's the same thing. Like I probably keep dude. Like I'm over here posting Black Suit shit, and there's still Doom shit that I haven't even posted, and it's not like it's like a secret. It's just like how do I feel today? What flavor of ice cream do I want to eat today? You know what I mean? And I want to share with the world. But yeah, man, like it is difficult. Like with the Marvel card hobby, like I'll just put this out there now. I know I've told you guys for sure, like amongst us, I'm just like slightly annoyed with it. I'm slightly annoyed because
It seems like you're on Team Baby Groot now. You know what I mean? You gotta
Team Baby Groot. Yo, you say what you want, you know, like Baby Groot, he's has some pretty good points, you know what I mean? Yo, shout out to 732 Collection, man, you know?
Shout out to you, for sure. If you need a co-host, hit up Sergio.
Yeah, you know, let me know. No, but hey, you know, would you say though, like, take away maybe the caption of what he says, he is posting, like, some of the shit that we're talking about, you know?
Yeah, but okay, so, but like, again, but if you're going to play that game, you got to play it honest too, like, when you said earlier, like everybody's up to their own thing. When you look at his channel,
I don't know what he's
you
up
look
to
at
be
it.
honest, bro.
That's well, you're smart enough to figure it out, right? Do your homework. So if you look into what he's doing, what his posts are, they're thought provoking. Okay, what thoughts are you having when you watch his post? What is he trying to convey about the Marvel card hobby?
That
right?
is
What do you think his
scratching
goal? Well, there you go. But what's his goal then? If that's what he keeps putting out, is he putting out like positivity? Is he putting out the shit that he fucks with? Is he showing his PC, or is he always just talking about some negative shit?
Nah, he's literally always bashing something. You know what I mean?
Okay, well then there you go. Well, what do you think his goal is then? There you go. Well, you got to do your homework.
I don't look too deep into it. It's just like, you know, you kind of scroll a little bit.
Hey, you definitely dive in the deep end.
I've been through a couple deep ends. You know what I mean?
Well, there you go. Then you know how to swim.
I'm so far removed from it. I'm surprised. Marvel, there's still like a market that's active because I haven't looked at it so much. Right, like
you said, I'm still surprised there's a market.
I'm surprised that it's still transacting every day. Like I don't know, you guys caught it, but the Masterpieces e-pack dropped, and it sold down in like 4 days. Bro, I'm surprised about that. I'm like, what? People still wait. This is the set that people say it looked digital.
Well, hey, look, I can't
What?
say this name, but you guys know it, but I can't. This is a homie. But look, I'm not surprised because we know homies that back when the market wasn't surprising you, right? People were picking up tier 1 through 3s. Every fucking set that came up for sale were getting scooped up because people were really stashing these cards thinking that it was going to get to the point where people were buying out of 1999s. So, again, I'm not surprised that I think what it is too, I mean, I'm just guessing, to be honest with you right now. I think the people that are buying out masterpieces are either pure speculators or pure collectors like a La Monica, right?
That's what I was about to say.
La Monica are
it's
the
a
people,
different crowd, definitely, than other Marvel products.
Yeah.
Like they came out, they showed out, they did not play, bro. They bought it all.
No. They let you know real quick they're gonna go for what their goals were.
Yo, we've been waiting for years, and we only buy a masterpiece, and it's gonna get bought out, and they did sold out. I was so surprised, like wow, that's crazy.
Those are the same people. To your point, like they're not telling anybody what to pick up. They're just like, oh yeah, you guys, oh you like Rittenhouse, oh you like annual, keep buying that. I'm gonna wait till masterpieces and just keep stacking my bread until that releases. And they did their thing. If that's what they enjoy, that's cool.
And I kind of respect it. I'm like, wow, like those people are disciplined.
Yeah,
they only care about one thing. Who cares if it's $500 a box? Who cares if the case is like $6K, $5K? We're gonna buy it all.
Yeah, and then the
4 days, 3.5 days later, it's sold out. It's impressive, man.
Yeah, and I think the speculating side of that, what I was just trying to say about the other side of the coin. So that's the collector side for sure, the hardcore collectors. But I think the speculators are getting at least in my point of view, they're getting bamboozled by what others are telling them that those cards are worth, or since they see that the OA is going for such crazy money, that's how they justify that. Like, well, if they always worth that, I need to stack up on the out of 99s or whatever their goals are for their impact stuff, right? Yeah. And that's unfortunate, you know.
Well, that's a tricky. Yeah, if you spec on something like that, that's high, like the highest price box shit, like it's rough, bro. Because look, I did go on MCCW afterwards. There's a lot of people posting for sale, and not a lot of people buying.
Yeah. Look, and I'm gonna give a hint to anybody that wants to do their homework as we're talking about this. If you want to see if you're overpaying at the current market, it's not that hard. I think anybody here will admit that right around 2021 or 22 was the peak for a lot of things. All you have to see is go to Terapeak and see, for example, if you want to look at PMGs, what the highest prices they sold for. Look at just 3 different characters and then look at the comps now. So you can see how much they dropped. You could do the same thing for every single parallel that's out there. You can see what the gold boars were selling for at peak.
Yep.
You can see what they're selling for now. So it's not hard to see how much of a fall you could expect from these things. And again, if you start noticing common denominators, like I remember selling out of 50 Spider-Man rubies for $1,200. Those are not going for $1,200 no more, sir. I think the last one might have been $200. So
Yeah.
So if you're the guy paying $1,000 for that Wolverine out of 50, good luck, because what you got looking forward to is a card that's going to be a sub $300 card in a few years or a few months.
It's likely.
Because as soon as the next set comes out, or as soon as Fanatics comes out with a good set, guess what? People got amnesia. They forgot all of a sudden, and now they're just
so many sets coming out now. Like it's the worst. I mean, maybe I don't know. I can't tell the market. Like again, I'm not even paying attention to it. But there's so many products coming out. It's like week to week now.
Mm-hmm.
I think this week just one came out for MCU, and then next week there's another one coming out. They're just getting all these sets out ASAP.
Yeah, they're trying to
catch whatever
they expire.
From that, and then you have Magic the Gathering, who just showed up at New York Comic Con. They talked about that, secret lair drops, and there's going to be they give away a promo. There's a promo people are buying for over $100 on eBay. It's a whole thing. So
yeah, and even with that, again, you guys, everybody has to be careful. I mean, with the Magic the Gathering, you could look up comps for like what their Street Fighter subset won for, right? Like, and what they're going for now. Once again, so don't let the FOMO hit you. I know it's almost impossible, but
yeah,
we're not Street Fighter, but
the secret lair drops. They seem to be like little, like 4 or 5 pack of art, like new art on some cards. There was a Peach Momoko one, which is pretty dope. I think like $40 to $50, depending you get the foil or non-foil. That's pretty cool as like a format. I don't know if they're gonna do much of the Marvel stuff.
Similar to the GameStop, right, where they did the foil and the non-foil version.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but the Peach Momoko one was dope. That wasn't Marvel related; it's just her artwork. So that's interesting to me. Like I like that they're doing spotlights on the artists and collabing with all these brands. If they do a Turtles one, I'm there for sure. But the Marvel stuff, right now I'm just not into it. So, but anyone who is, make sure you check that out. There's a lot of New York Comic Con stuff out there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited for some Mondo stuff that dude has been sending us some links to.
Bro, real quick on the Mondo front, they did a bunch of announcements. They're gonna do an Alien line,
Nice,
a Naruto line, 6 scale, a Yu-Gi-Oh, which surprised me.
Oh, I know you're looking forward to the next one, to the one on the right.
The Goofy movie? Yeah, that's hard. They're gonna do like what they call, I forget what they call, but it's like it's not an ongoing line. It's like you get all the characters up front because they're just doing like a small
also like just a set.
Yeah, just like a small set, so it covers. So they can't really do a line; just do a drop, and it covers that movie. But the Yu-Gi-Oh, I think they said they're gonna start printing some of like the Blue Eyes White Dragon, some of the OG stuff in an actual poster size. So you're gonna have the whole card art as a poster.
Oh, that's hard.
Which is dope.
Like
they're gonna do that. And they're gonna do a like the shiny, metal variant too. They're gonna do all that. But Gargoyles, they're doing a 6 scale line in Nightmare Before Christmas. Yeah, bro. Yu-Gi-Oh, huge. I know Naruto is gonna be big. Naruto, SH Figure Arts is a company that does a lot of that stuff right now.
Alien has their following, man.
Alien too, yeah. and they're doing the Kenner. I think they say it was Kenner lines from the 80s, or I forget. I believe it was the 80s or early 90s. But yeah, Gargoyles is huge. NECA does those. But these are 6 scales, so these are like 12 inches scale. And they're doing a real Ghostbusters line that they've been announcing. But the big one, they announced they're bringing the Turtles in 6 scale, which is huge. They did an original set 10 years ago, and people have been waiting for them to do it again. If you try to go find some of those figures on like eBay, you're looking at like from 300 to like thousands of dollars for the whole set.
Are you thinking you're gonna do the whole set or just Mikey?
So that's the thing. The interesting about it, like they showed the Donatello, right? They're actually working with I believe who owns their license? Nickelodeon, I think. And they're doing their own version, which is a mashup of the movies design and like comics. So they're doing their own like version of Turtles, which is unique because there's thousands of turtle lines everywhere in all scales, but 6 scale, I don't think there is one. They're gonna be the only one. I'm definitely gonna go Mikey, and I hope they do Last Ronin because that's really my jam.
Yeah.
If they did Last Ronin, I would get every single one. But again, bro, I see this, and, this Donatello looks sick. It's gonna start next year, so I might just go crazy, go all in the line, and then figure out what I'm gonna do after. Because they do timed editions. So even if I don't keep it, I'll probably just secure one in case, and then see what I'm gonna do. But it would be obviously Casey Jones, Mikey, and then Shredder, and like cool villains, Bebop, Rocksteady. You got there's a ton of options. Usagi, Yojimbo, if they do one, like it's just a bunch of Karai. It's a lot. So I'm excited though. 6 scale, definitely. Turtles heavy next year, bro, for me.
Yeah.
But if they do Last Ronin, it's a problem. I'm in for all the line. I'm gonna have to find space. They're probably gonna sit in like storage for a while. Like I don't know, bro. Like if I might have to get 2 Last Ronin. Like I might go crazy with it if they do a Last Ronin set. I'm gonna need multiples. It's fire though. I like that. What they did mention, I am excited about, is they're gonna create some, like, I don't know, main characters or like side characters. They gave them liberty for that. So like ever since Funko took Mondo, and they've been doing a lot more like toys and statues and shit. They've got more creative freedom, and these big brands are letting them just make stuff up. I think in the
creative control.
More creative control. And they've done it with other lines where they created like some characters that weren't there in the 90s, but they fit with the 90s vibe. So we'll see. This is going to be dope, though. Big NYCC news. And yeah, I mean, look, they already have the X-Men, the Batman animated stuff. So
yeah,
there's a lot of good shit there. Mondo is my favorite collectibles. Just when it comes to prints and
these 1/6.
The toys.
Speaking of prints, I don't know if you remember when they dropped the Secret Wars 10 release.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Let me see what's today's date. We're October 9th. I still haven't received that package.
Well, usually you gotta check when it's due to get shipped out, because sometimes you just pre-order, but it's really coming out in like a couple months.
Yeah, for sure.
to
No,
make
it's
sure.
been a little bit, but yeah, and I'm a big fan of Mondo too. I think they do cool toys. It's just not. I mean, for me, I don't think I
They
have
tease
the
that Venom.
space for it, man. The Venom's cool. Like the Venom animated is cool. You know, I know that they were working on some Spider-Man animated stuff. Uh,
Yep, they're doing
but
the
yeah,
Spider-Man animated line. Um, they teased this Venom, which if you looked at like I believe San Diego, they actually had it there, and they had the Batman Beyond, which also I'm looking at. Those are going to be released, but they already showed the prototype. It seems like this one's coming out sooner, and then they had the Scarecrow release for Batman animated is their Halloween drop, which is kind of cool.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah, and that one's sick. It has a bunch of different faces, but Batman, bro, I had it, but it's just too much. Batman animated, I like every single character. It's tough.
that Mister
Yeah.
Freeze that you had was really dope. You know what I mean?
Mr. Freeze was my favorite one, and it's the one that broke.
Yeah.
And then I was like, nah, dog, I can't do this.
Bro, you gotta look. You just gotta bite the bullet, get those couple of Kia shelves, and just set up the whole thing, the whole city. Bro.
Whole thing everywhere.
That'd be sick, you know.
I would like to narrow it down to like a couple pieces from Batman animated, just to represent it.
Yeah, get a little trio.
But it's hard to decide who are you gonna take. Who are you gonna take as a team, as a squad?
If I'm only talking about the Batman animated,
Yeah.
I would take Batman. I would take Joker, and the third one is where it starts getting a little tough.
Yeah.
Because I'm between like, yeah, I'm gonna go Two-Face. There you go.
Well, see, Two-Face hasn't came out. Maybe Two-Face is my one off Batman animated for now. But the Joker's definitely dope.
I think it's just so iconic the way Mark Hamill played him. So you have to go with that one. I take Joker over Harley Quinn personally. I know there's a lot of Harley Quinn collections out there.
And now you have Poison Ivy. You can't have Harley without Poison Ivy. Like it's
So if you're gonna be a Harley guy, you get Poison Ivy. But I'll take the Joker with Batman and then just do Two-Face. Now, if I could get a top 5, I might throw Scarecrow in there and then
Scarecrow's so dope too. And they got Clayface coming out sooner.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Two-Face, when Two-Face hits, is different. That's my favorite design overall, is the Two-Face design from Batman animated. I think that's the best design for Two-Face.
Yeah, it is. I think so too.
And I guess I would put Mr. Freeze there too. That's Mike Mignola who designed that one. That's a big one. But
it's definitely better than the Arnold Schwarzenegger movie, Mr. Freeze. Yeah.
Which I haven't seen in a while. I need to go back and watch. It's about time. I need to go back, revisit it.
They're so cheesy, they're funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was watching not that one specifically, but the one with Jim Carrey, the Riddler, with my kid, and how cheesy they were. But
yeah, that was crazy. Yeah, man. There's a lot of variant covers, too many to even point out, but there's a lot of New York was popping. I got a couple sketches there. I'll probably show those whenever I get them.
bro.
Bro, it was a fun weekend. I saw a lot of people showing their videos going to New York Comic Con. Looks fun. It looks like not fun at times too. It's fucking packed. You know what I mean? But
yeah,
they had all the best artists there. It's crazy.
Yeah, man. Like that in San Diego, man. Like, I know I got excited. You actually sent me the announcement for Delato. Gabriel's going to be there at
MegaCon.
At MegaCon. I'm excited for that. That'll be probably most likely like February, March ish, around that time frame. I'm excited for that one, man. Again, I've been relatively like laying low on pickup stuff like that. Like I still got my eye on a couple of things, but I just been, man. I've been laying low relatively, you know.
Yeah.
And you know, I think part of it comes to, you know, kind of the conversations we've had, and again, just appreciating the PC because, like, you know, like I mentioned earlier today, there's still so many things that I haven't even like shared, you know.
Yeah, you got
So
nice stuff too.
you know, there's some stuff I haven't shared, and you know, I'm gonna take a little pause from buying just because, like, you know, let me just showcase some of the stuff that I do have because I haven't shared some of that stuff yet, you know.
Yeah.
So I think that's the mission for now. The last purchase that I made was you know, shout out to the homie Tim. You know, Tim, even though I told him, Tim, don't show me, you know, he sent me that message. I'm like, all right, Tim. He knows he knows what he's doing, you know, he knows what he's doing. But I was like, Tim, whatever you do, don't show me the sketch that, you know, that I got for from NYCC. And shout out to him, man. He you know, he sent me a link and he's like, yo, like, you know, because we're talking about artist prices and stuff like that. And man, you know, some of these artist prices is a little crazy, you know. And especially for me, you know, like you know, I know you're more of like a like a card sketch kind of guy, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
And ever since I kind of
Nice.
transitioned more into the comics, like, you know, when I started kind of like doing a little bit of research on what to get to send Tim, I was like, you know what, man, I really like this blank cover. The trade dress is cool, whatever. I had an idea in my mind, and I told Tim kind of like what I wanted. I'm just like, yo, I'm just gonna let it fly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he said, and I told him, I said, bro, don't show it to me. Like, just, you know, we'll do like a blind reveal, you know, on the podcast when I get it. But of course, you know, Tim is like, yo, dog, I got it. And he's like, how is it? And he gave me the little side eye, you know? And I was like, oh, Tim, come on. And I was like, all right, man, show it to me. Fuck it, you know? So whatever. But honestly, man, I'm pretty excited for the piece, you know, and excited to share with you guys. That's been like my last, I would say, like major purchase, you know? And again, I'll be honest with you, you know, I don't like, I'm sure and I'm positive that there's certain things that have probably slipped away from me that I haven't really paid attention to. And dude, it's okay. You know what I mean? I'm okay with it. Like some of the stuff that I do have that I haven't shown, or some of the stuff that I just haven't, like, you know, I'm holding it, you know, close to the chest, is just like, bro, some of these things you're just not gonna find like that anymore. You know what I mean? And you know, again, I'm just like, you know, taking a step back and appreciating what I do have. And you know, when the time is right, you know, I'm gonna pull the trigger on a couple things. Like I said, that I'm still to this day, when we talked about it maybe a week or two ago, I'm still watching some items that I still haven't pulled the trigger on, and that you know, that's a major discipline for me because usually I just pull the trigger on it, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I just been laying low, man. I've been laying low, you know, and again, as much, and you know, I don't say this to, you know, to like offend anyone, or I'm just not really paying attention to what's going on in the hobby right now, bro. Like I'll hop on Instagram because naturally, right? Like I'll hop on Instagram, I'll look at a couple things, and I might ingest a couple things because of when you log on, someone sends you a story, you know, whatever the case is. But guys, I'm really not looking too deep into like what's going on in the hobby right now, you know, because if I were to look into it, I could probably, if this guy's doing this and that the other guy's doing that as well, and that guy's talking about this too, you get what I'm saying? Like it's all like the same conversation.
You know, dude, on post edit, right when he started saying he's not paying attention, put my little dog meme on my thing. Please, as soon as he like when he started saying that, make it pop up on the screen as he's saying that.
Yeah.
But
no, seriously, I'm not watching. You know, I'm not watching, you know, influencers channels and stuff like that, man. Like if they pop up on my feed because of someone else or someone's post or a tag or whatever, you know, whatever. But I'm really just, you know, I'm just not looking at that stuff, man. You know what I mean? I'm still over here playing Marvel vs. Capcom 2. As boring as that may sound, I sent you guys a video the other day, you know, show you guys what it is, you know.
Yeah.
And still, hey, you know, if you guys want the smoke, bro, let me know.
You hear that thing?
That's what I've been on. You know what I mean? I've been taking people's souls, you know, via you know, Marvel vs. Capcom 2.
Your name is David Goggins now? Well, that's crazy.
Hey, shit, they might as well be. You know what I mean? I'm over here snatching souls and shit. You know?
You're carrying the loads and the logs.
You know, let's just say I got a few souls in my pocket. You know, and if you've been in the military, you know what that means. You know, listen, when I was in the military, somebody might be getting smoked at the time, right? Like somebody might have got in trouble, you know, say something stupid, and these guys are getting fucking smoked. And like, you know, you're watching these guys get smoked internally, bro. internally you're laughing, because it's not you getting smoked. But you can't really express, the fact that you're laughing or whatever because, oh, you want to laugh? Yeah, come join the party, And I remember, man, like, one of the drill instructors was smoking this kid. And, in military, in Marine Corps boot camp, they have what they call a drill hat, right? They have the drill hat, which is the person that teaches you how to drill.
Yep.
They have the senior drill instructor, which is like, like the father figure, right? Like he's going to smoke you probably less than all the other ones, Mm-hmm. And then they have what we call the kill hat, which, I mean, you can kind of reference what that guy's going to do to you, right? He's going to fucking smoke you all the time. And I remember, man, like the kill hat was smoking this kid. And the kid, legit, bro, like he started shedding tears because it's like, dude, he was getting fucking smoked. And as the kid's shedding tears, bro, the kill hat takes the tear from his eye and he opens his chest pocket and he puts that shit. He's like, yo, your soul is mine. Yo, on some Sao Shung shit. Like, yo, I felt like I was watching like Mortal Kombat in person, He literally snatched his soul out of his body and he's like, yo, like your soul is forever with me, And yeah, that's kind of, that's what I...
Sounds like the guy was a romantic. That's wild. Who's collecting tears out here? That's wild.
That's who's collecting tears. But that's kind of what I've been doing, man. I've been casually playing a little bit of Marvel's Capcom 2. And, I'll be honest with you, since I see so many repeat names, I kind of figured out right now that it is a large, group of people, but it's not that large, So you are going to run into some repeats. You are going to run into some people that you see over and over again. And, dude, some people see the name and they're just like, yeah, you know what, dude? I don't want to play you because, I know what you're going to do to me. And, I've been kind of running into that. My son is a witness. Sometimes he hops on my account and he's like, yo, like some guys will be like, nah, no way. I don't even want to play this guy, So I've been enjoying that, man. And just saving money, man. Nice. Saving money. And like, when the time is right to make a big purchase or when I decide like, hey, I'm going to pull the trigger on this finally, it's going to be like, just whatever, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And other than that, as you guys even see, I took a little bit of hiatus in posting too, just because I got annoyed. Like I told you, man, I got annoyed with some things that happen or said or whatever, and I'm just like, you know what, I need to step away from this because it's it's not good for me to get upset about things that or people that I don't even know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I'd rather step away from it. And when the time is right, I'll address it. Like today, hey, look, like this is my irk for the week. This is the donkey of the week. And, I feel like I got it off my chest and, we could keep moving forward and, I feel better. I feel better, like, expressing my feeling on it. And, that's what I've done.
If anyone wants to talk about today's topics, make sure you reach out to @Monster in the Iron Mask.
Yeah, today was Sergio's therapy session.
Yeah.
So you guys can see this actually what actually goes down right here.
And, he's not afraid to talk to people, so yeah, hit him up, dog.
Not at all.
I will like to highlight some of the posts that we've done because I saw this one, and I believe I saw who was it, Andrew with the colors, bro. This is a sick cover, dog.
Yeah, that's dope.
Yeah, and that's obviously like it's an English Spider-Man cover as well, except this is the Spanish one, Comics Forum, and I kind of like that it's kind of a little Spanglish, no?
Yeah.
El Asombroso Spider-Man. Usually it would be El Asombroso Hombre Araña.
Yeah.
But this is a little Secret Wars 2 in the Spain run. The Secret Wars 2 surprisingly has really nothing to do with Secret Wars. I don't know if it was kind of like a run, right? Kind of like a, I don't know. I don't know how they kind of like work that out.
Mm-hmm.
But this has nothing to do with Secret Wars. It's just a dope cover, like
it's dope. There's some things like, why is this building collapsing? Which is interesting. Yeah. You got pink, yellow, which is a dope, like with the black and the pink, and then you got the blue. It's a weird color scheme, and I like it. Este Oros Míos, that's dope.
And just like the gradient,
and then you have the
black suit.
Yeah, the black suit, but then you have like different stages. Reminds me of Street Fighter or something. Mm-hmm. Where you see them just jumping through. They're sick.
Yeah, man. And I felt like coming back in a post because the last time I posted was when we did the Batmobile, podcast, and that was probably like 2 weeks ago, maybe a week ago.
Yeah, I think it was like 2
so
3 weeks ago.
if I go 0 Dark 30, if I kind of just disappear, I'm annoyed. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's your Telltale sign?
Yeah,
Good.
I'm annoyed with
Mine's
what's going
Batman
on.
animated. Yeah, for sure. Let's check
I
out what
haven't
Elusive
figured out
posted.
mine is. Go ahead. Yeah, I don't know.
Oh yeah, we gotta break down Elusive's Telltale sign. I don't know it yet. You've been posting, well, even since then, like some of these are cool.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Some of these
that one was
versus
the
To Mike Zeck, no?
no Alex Horley, the guy who did the
Oh, Alex
upside
Alex
down.
Horley.
Nice.
Wow,
Yeah.
with the dope Venom, right?
Yeah,
Alex Horley. Yeah. A card that I'm familiar with.
yeah. Well,
This
that's
one, now
that's
it's
that's
nice
Wolfhard
and
hand.
encased.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
appreciate that.
Mhm.
This is a dope one. 75th anniversary cut.
Yeah.
Nice.
Some people in the Doom chat don't have one of those.
Oh, well.
Well,
No,
a lot of people. Well, I would say,
in a while.
yeah, I don't know who you take a shot at, but
No, nobody.
well, no one else has it because it's just one of these.
Yeah, it's a one of one. You know what I'm saying?
There you go. This one was dope. I didn't know you had some DeLoreans.
Yeah. Hey, fun fact, by the way, those are two different scale cars. The one on the left is
Really?
164 from Johnny Lightning.
Oh yeah,
It's from a diorama
this
pack.
one,
No, the van. The van is 164. But the cars are a nano, like the micro machine size, by the way,
smaller.
from Jada.
For some reason, I didn't read it as different scales though.
Yeah,
Until you
because
just mentioned it.
it looks like it would go inside the van perfectly, and the one
Yeah.
that actually came with the van looks almost the same size as the van, which is wild. I don't get it.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's dope. I
Yeah.
like that. Those are clean. Did I post anything? I don't know.
Yeah,
You guys can tell
that
me.
PSA Batman book.
Yeah, the Sub-Zero
I
variant is
posted
fucking
this
dope.
one. I think we talked about this one.
Yeah.
That one shot
The
to Andrew.
Sakevich. Yeah.
Oh,
No,
this
so,
the
yeah, I looked
sketch
background a lot.
TMNT Leo, by Jeremy Treese. I believe that's how you say. It's dope vibe. Shout out to Fausto. He sent me the link on this one. This was dope.
Oh, nice.
And then back here is the Sienkiewicz turtle book.
Well, I
It's
like the
one of the
ninja
interior
stars on the
pages.
corners.
Here? Oh yeah, design on
That's
this
dope.
card set? Yeah. It was dope. Yeah, I got this PSA. So this is a PSA magazine for November. If you're signed up for the TCG non-sports magazine, because you can choose between the sports and non-sports.
And there's different variants of it too, by the way.
Yeah, this is the Sub-Zero variant. They did a whole Cape Crusader. Inside, they talk about a bunch of different Batman cards. They do go into like some pretty obscure ones, but not super crazy in depth. But it's a nice.
Is that a foil?
No, this is all matte. Yeah, no foil. But the regular one thing is yellow. There's this one. There's one that's half and half, and then there's a numbered one to 200, which is a Joker one that has like haha in red letters and stuff. So it's cool. I enjoyed looking through it mainly for the Batman animated. See what cards they showed.
Yeah.
I think one of the cards they showed is one that I tend a while back, but I gotta check the certs.
And really quick, man, because I know I know we took it's been like a week, whatever, but yo, shout out to Raj, man. Raj posted a video with Donnie Boy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I know that. Yeah, make sure y'all go follow.
I know
Raj.
they're doing their thing. They're doing their thing over there, man. So shout out to Raj, shout out to Donnie Boy for sure. I really like the Catwoman piece that Donnie Boy posted the other day.
Yeah, the orange.
Yep.
Yeah, that's really cool.
He put a dope one. Let me see it. It is. Let's see.
And shout out to the homie Melfi with that fucking uncut holo promos, man, for sure.
Bro, that one. Oh yeah, so yeah, this one you got background. And you got old school Catwoman, the Golden Age. One of my favorite versions of this one. It looks like that's from that era. Yeah. Like you were saying,
Melfi's been, Melfi's been in hiding. You know what I'm saying? We got to pull.
Shout out to Melfi. First of all, he posted this Todd McFarlane Spawn uncut sheet. Auto. Sick. And this one, I think he dropped it, last night?
I believe so, yeah.
That looks awesome. It's a hollows, I guess, hollow cards. Yeah, promos. Yeah. They look sick, bro. He showed me like, I think it was like a video where he's kind of moving it around, and the light is super reflective from the colors.
Hey, honestly, low key, I know. I would love to have Melfi on. Melfi, you don't even got to be on camera. We could just talk about it. But yeah, man,
you reach out to him, because if I tell him, he ain't coming on.
Yeah, Melfi.
And I already
look, he stayed to himself. He don't give a But y'all, you reach out to him, see what he says.
I know Tim just came back from New York City Comic-Con. I know he's about to go on some vacation, but shout out to Tim. I know I spoke to him today.
Shout out to Tim. We gotta catch up with Tim.
He told me he's like, Sergio, just be a good Christian. I was like, no, fuck that, Tim. People doing some weird shit around here.
Before we get to that, I showed, and we'll get back to that shit though. But there's a Batman Beyond DC card. Not too many of them out there. I'm still looking for the foil version. If anyone sees one, please, send me a message. You know what I mean? Help your boy out. Bro. I'm on Batman Beyond wave. I got a sketch, some people may have seen today, some not yet. When I get it in person, I'm gonna post it, just like Elusive says. I can't help myself. I'm gonna post it anyways.
Yeah.
But though.
And really quick, I just saw this, again, I opened up my Instagram feed, I was looking at something. Shout out to the people buying tops trying to hit that Spider-Man 101 refractor. It's already hit. That should hit a PSA 10.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
It's over. So we'll see. Go look at the price. They plummet now. I don't know.
You know what? Hey, while we're here, you know what? Can you open up Baby Groot's page, please?
Let's look at the story.
There you go, guys.
And this is what he posted a story. The Superfractor 1 of 1 from 2024 Topps Chrome. Look, I will say this. These Topps Chrome Superfractors look a lot more shiny obviously from what I can see in a photo, because I haven't seen one in person. They look way more shiny than the Golden Treasures for some reason. I don't know if that's it. If anyone has any to compare,
what I just thought about though too. What I just thought about, and because we were talking about OA a little bit earlier. Some of these recycled pieces you're never going to get the OA for, like the recycled artworks, because somebody I'm sure has it somewhere already.
A lot of these are comic book artwork that's already taken, right? Like, or another thing, they're digital. There's no OA for it. It was done digitally in the comics, so you can't buy the OA. There's a lot of that going on. Nice card though.
Yeah,
I like the symmetry.
Yeah, the artwork is like that comic wraparound cover by I forget the artist's name.
Oh yeah. The black and white one, right?
Yeah, that's where they got it from. Same exact pose.
That's sick.
Just so you guys know, that's been pulled.
That's been pulled. We'll see what prices do with that.
You think he pulled that from PSA? Because I mean, where else would he get that image from?
I think someone must have posted somewhere or sent it to him, and he pulled up the certain number. But I don't know the dude. Or lady. I don't know who it is. Shout out to them. I don't know what they do, but either he knows the person who got word of it and he's showing it. It's dope, though. Dope to see that. It's nice. Otherwise, I would never even look for it. So shout out to him. That's about it, bro.
All right,
that's a therapy session for the week.
That's the therapy session for the week. Please, again, any comments? Leave them in the comments. If you want to talk some sense to Sergio,
please.
Agree or disagree, just go ahead and Leave it in the comments or hit him up directly. I'm sure he'll love that.
Yeah, for sure. Any
No, throw it in. You know what? Throw it in the comments. You could DM me, but throw it in the comment section. You know, so when you talk your shit, you know, make it public. You know, just throw it in the comment section down below.
Oh man.
You know,
no point in
hiding.
Hopefully, we don't have to put Sergio on timeout because he got crazy last time in the comments.
Too. That's okay. Listen, like I told you earlier, or I told you a couple of days ago, I don't even care anymore because there's nothing that you can hold back from me, bro. There's nothing that you're gonna stop me from getting anymore. Because you're not going to stop me from getting a comic. You're definitely not going to fucking stop me from getting a foreign, you know, because you got to figure that out yourself anyway.
I'll say this. If things get crazy in the comments, this might be the last episode. If y'all don't hear from us again, it's because Sergio's running too hot. You know what I mean? We got to let him cool off.
Yeah.
You know? Just tell people watch their mouth, you know what I mean?
Okay. Well, look, let's start again. This tradition. Go ahead, Sergio. Shout-outs, anti-shout-outs. Go ahead.
Man. I mean, anti-shout-out, Donkey of the Week. Yo, shout out to Aoki, bro. You know what I'm saying? If Aoki, if you paid that $15K, you're probably the Donkey of the Month, bro. You know what I'm saying? Seeing how some of the other comps are like 1K, 2K. You know, if you pay that much, you whoever your assistant is at Aoki Card House, you need to fire that guy. You know what I mean? So
they're just getting people's jobs pulled.
that's my Donkey of the Week, you know, for sure. And shout outs, man. Listen, man, if I fuck with you, bro, you know who you are, bro. Shout out to you. You know what I mean? New and old. You know what I mean? Like, yo, you know, I got a lot of love for, you know, some of those good collectors out there, man. And shout out to you guys. You know, you guys are honestly, you know, again, as you know, along with you guys too. You guys are the reason why I even still, you know, stick around in this whole hobby thing. I could be collecting this shit by myself. You know what I mean? But you know, I'm glad I'm able to share with a few people, man. And you know, whatever influence you do take out of it, you know, whatever, man. Just, you know, just know that I'm not here trying to, you know, pump and dump shit for you guys, bro. You know. But yeah, man. You know, shout out to the homies. And yeah, that's all I really got for today. I really come in peace, bro. But I just had to get that off my chest because, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, last week it was me. I forgot how Manu phrased it. It was something doomed, and it was funny. Yeah, I mean, look. Oh, also, I forgot to mention that. And hopefully Manu's still listening. I saw another photo of the slab. It's
what are we talking about for reference?
The PSA graded slab revision, the one we talked about last week.
Yeah.
I saw another angle, different photo. Look, again, it's not my favorite design. I like the first one, but I'm not mad at it. I still think the first one's better.
I still think the font's too big, and that was just like,
tattoo for my I like it, but this one actually didn't bother me as much. It was a clear one. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what they do. I heard Swaggle House talk about they had the thin slab there, the one that's not the more compact one. I haven't seen a picture of that, but I would like to see it too. I'm still interested.
And really quick to comment on that, I do want to give a shout out to Manu as well, because even though, you know, like we kind of like question like the design and everything, regardless of that, he still posted like, hey guys, what do you think of this? And I think that we need a little bit more of that in the hobby, because it's not just closing the conversation to like, yo, like this is it. And then he's going to support something that he may not even actually truly support himself, you know? He still asks the people in the community, hey guys, what do you think? And I think that that's very important, you know? So shout out to him on that one. Yeah.
Shout out to Andrew's comment. Andrew's comment about that was it's like watching people talk about design thing in the open is like watching people put IKEA furniture together for sure. That was great. I love that. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I'm gonna shout out a show that I've been watching. I think I mentioned it to you guys at the beginning, but I started watching Gangs of London. One of the actors is from the Peaky Blinders. But it's a good show, man. I've already killed both seasons, put it that way. So shout out to that show if you want to entertain and, you know, you don't want to get into like negativity. You know, because Sergio's been dipping his toe in the pool of negativity lately. And then obviously celebrated my birthday recently. So I have, you know, thankfully I haven't had too much time to look into things that piss me off. So I don't have an anti-shout out this week. Just shout out to everybody that,
okay.
Shout out to everybody that makes me laugh.
Surprising. That's surprising.
Yeah. Shout out for me again. Shout out to Raj.
But depending on how much longer this episode runs, I might have an anti-shout out. Keep going though.
I just want to shout out Raj and Donovan again. They did their video. I think Raj did another one where he had a piece by Ben Brady, artist, which I know him from the Platinum. I think it's Brado Art. I believe that's
Brado Art. Mm-hmm. He did the Psylocke.
Dope pieces, bro. He's called him, Miles Wool. Those guys for me of like the new post Platinum guys that I just know from Platinum and beyond. Like those guys, really dope artwork. And the way they paint is awesome. Shout out to them. I like seeing other people do content. People who are still passionate about some things that I'm quite frankly not passionate about in the moment. So I still like to watch if I can get somebody who's into the subject they're talking about. Shout out to them. Shout out to the homies. And shout out to Tim. Major shout out to Tim.
Major shout out to Tim.
And shout out to Tim. We need to have him back on. And also I spoke to James. We need to have him back on. So he's down.
We need to talk to Johnny too.
Yeah, we'll have them both on at the same time.
Johnny got some crazy shit too that again I'm not gonna talk about it, but Johnny's cooking right now.
Johnny's always cooking. You got multiple side quests. Come on.
See, there's things he says in the chat I don't want to make public. But I'll say this though. Big news. I'm gonna say public. Sorry, Johnny, if this wasn't meant to be public. He said he might get a PS5 soon. I can't wait till he fucks up Sergio and Marvel vs. Capcom. Dog. It's gonna be y'all. We might have to live stream that. You know what I mean?
Sergio's gonna hit you with 21 excuses though. You know what I mean?
What I'm gonna hit him with a 21-piece combo. You know what I mean?
Oh wow, Johnny,
I would take that. Also, there was a Bill Sienkiewicz Transformers cover variant.
Yep, the foil.
That was sick. I sent to Johnny. That was fire because I know he would love that shit. And shout out to your boy Max, Cop to Collect. He put that Transformers Hot Wheel. Bro, that was sick.
You know, I know he's not too deep into the Marvel card hobby space, so a lot of you guys don't know who Max is. But Max has been collecting for a long time, bro. And Max has some shit that, like, you know, if he really pulled out some of those fucking boxes he has, you know, he'd probably impress a lot of people. Maybe not the Marvel card collectors, because if all you care about is Marvel cards, he's definitely not your cup of tea. But he's got some shit, man. You know, shout out to my homie
he's a
Max.
little bit everywhere nostalgia. Yeah, he's a well-rounded nostalgia guy, which I fuck with. Anti shout outs. Let me see. I gotta make Vic happy.
Oh man.
Let's see. Damn, I'm feeling it. Well, Elusive let me down because usually I can depend on him.
Y'all can't let me be the only one. Yeah, like one of y'all got to drop at least one. Got to be a 2 out of 3.
Did I watch anything? I mean, I watched a lot of things that upset me. But do I want to say it publicly? No, not really.
Yeah, why not?
Nah, it's not. It's like a mid anti shout out. It's not really. There's no hate behind it. I'll just say on the whole subject today that Sergio was on, like, just think through things that you want to collect or you want to invest time in. Don't just go with what people say, for sure. Yeah, but I don't really have an anti shout out. I mean, that's more like a advice more than anything. But yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, man.
It is great. Shout out to Elusive being older.
I appreciate it, man. And I just, cut it after this for sure. But I just want to let you guys know, there's other people that are in.
Oh, I just stupid. That was stupid. You're stupid. That's so dumb. I won't have to leave the laugh at the end.
Don't even cut it.
Don't let Sergio finish.